What is up there everyone, it's the Gardener Gamertag here, and recently I started playing Destiny 2. Now I'm brand new to the Destiny franchise, so I really don't know much about the game, so I wanted to make this video to ask some questions because there are some things that are confusing me about this game. The first thing being how the energy weapons work. Now, a lot of the energy weapons I've had feel a lot less strong than my primary weapons, because in this game you have primary weapons, energy weapons and power weapons, and the energy weapons, to my understanding, their main benefits is that they have specific ammo types that allow you to disable certain shields quickly. But other than that, what other benefits do they have? When would you want to use this instead of using your primary weapon? And also, how do they change when you go into player versus player? Because when I've been playing through the campaign, my energy weapons don't feel as strong as my primary weapons, but when I go into player versus player, it feels that my energy weapon is arguably as strong, perhaps even stronger than my primary weapon. So I'm not quite sure exactly how they work between the two different types of game mode. And then also, speaking of energy weapons, I've also had a bit of confusion about the shields that they take down. I've currently come across blue shields and orange shields, however there are some other shielded enemies that I'm not quite so sure on. There are certain enemies which seem to have white shields around them, and I've tried most of the ammo types against them, and they seem to be immune to all of the different ammo types. The only way I've been able to disable their shields is by throwing a suppressor grenade which disables abilities. Is there any other way of disabling these white shields, or is that the only way of actually taking down their shields? Also, there are some Cabal who have these massive sort of diamond shaped shields which are orange in the middle. When I've used an orange ammo type against that orange shield, it still says they're immune. So is that a special type of shield which needs a different ammo type, or is that another one of these shields where you have to use an ability suppressing grenade to actually disable those shields? And then finally, are there any shields that are disabled by the purple ammo type? Because I haven't as yet come across any shields that seem to be disabled by that. And it would seem odd that I'm not sure if that's perhaps that I just haven't come across the right faction of enemies to come across those shields, but I haven't as yet seen any enemies that require the purple ammo type to disable their shields. Another thing I've been sort of confused by with the weapons is, how do you know what is going to be a good weapon? From what I understand, if you want to be in player versus environment, you want to have the highest attack rating possible, but you also want to have some good perks. But then when you go into player versus player, what actually makes a good weapon? Is it all just personal preference, or is it actually there are some certain qualities about weapons that will make them good for player versus player? Because at the moment I'm just going on personal preference, because I really don't know how to craft a good weapon or what makes a good weapon. And then also I've started unlocking weapon modifications, mostly for my gear, but should I actually start adding those to my gear yet, or should I wait until I've got higher level gear? Because currently I have one exotic piece of gear and I got the gauntlets, and that was from the campaign mission. But I'm mostly using blue level gear because that's the best gear I've got. It's got the highest attack rating. So I'm not sure exactly whether I should put these armor mods onto my armor yet, or whether I should just wait until later in the game when I've got much higher level armor. Because I'm not actually sure if I'll be able to take it off of the low level armor to then use it again on higher level armor. Another thing was, in terms of managing your inventory, I finally found that there is actually a vault you can keep old items in that you no longer need to use. What items are worth keeping in the vault in terms of your armor and your weapons? Because currently I've just got weapons that I no longer carry on me because they've got a much lower attack rating. I'm not sure whether it's just worth dismantling those for the glimmer, or whether I should just keep them in the vault in case I decide to use them in a future date. Because I get the feeling that eventually it's going to get to the point where I'm not going to ever use any of this stuff, because I'll end up with legendary gear or perhaps even some exotic gear, which is going to make it completely redundant. I'm not sure whether to actually keep these weapons, armor and marks in my vault, or whether I should just scrap them all together. Marks also do confuse me a little bit, because they seem to increase your defense rating, but do they do anything other than that, or is it just an extra bit of armor for your character? And lastly, with using weapons, is it actually worth using one weapon repeatedly and keep using it over and over again? Do you get extra unlocks by doing that, or is it a case that you get weapon mods by completing quests and side quests and then going to the vendors to get weapon modifications? Because in my playtime so far, I will use a weapon up until I have something that's better. It has a higher attack rating, or I just get a better feel with that weapon. And so I'm not sure if I'm actually missing out on an opportunity for better rewards for those weapons, or whether I'm actually just playing the game the way it normally plays. But overall, for those of you who are interested, my experience with Destiny so far has been quite good. The game is okay. I wouldn't say it's anything groundbreaking and that you absolutely must buy the game, but it is a good bit of fun. I have enjoyed my time with the game so far. But I do hope you've enjoyed the video. This has been the Gardener Gamertag, and I'll see you on another video.